right, Alchemist. Alright, Alchemists, welcome back to another episode of ALcHeMy CrYpTo. I'm your host and Alchemist, ALcHeMy. Alright, welcome back into the cipher. Thanks for jumping in. Shout out to all the alchemists stateside and all around the rock. If you're hearing my voice, you are early in crypto. Only 4% of the globe own crypto and know what's really going on. Alright, let's look at market cap. 932 billion. So coming up out of the dumps. Is the bear market over? I want to know what you guys think, Alchemists. Comment down below. Alright, remember, nothing I say in this video is financial advice. So, $933 billion. The time of this stream is now Friday. This is the MidNighT live stream, January 20th. Your Bitcoin, 21,000 on the money. Ethereum, 1548. BNB at 293, and XRP, the chosen one, at 38 cents. All right, it was a bloodbath today in the markets. We did see a little pump in crypto. Futures are green. All right, fear and greed sitting in neutral territory after being in fear and extreme fear for so long. We were at a 53. Let's look at this CNN bear bull. Also in some neutral territory. Alright, let's look in at some metals. Gold, 1939 an ounce. Silver ask is 24. Platinum, 1053, and palladium at 1,800 bucks. All right, let's look at some of that black gold. Come on. Brent crude, 80 bucks a barrel. So as China comes online and demand increases, we will feel more pain. All right, let's look at the dollar. DXY kind of just chopping sideways in this 102 range. Psychology of a market cycle. Okay, I believe we are coming up out of the end of the bear. So I'm in denial, I'm in disbelief. I think this is a bull trap rally. Never really saw despair, never saw a big capitulation. I guess FTX could have been the last of it, and we were returning to the mean. So understanding where we are in the cycle is critical to our success, so we'll keep watching it. All right, these are the cycles in the past. So we're gonna chop sideways all year, more pain to come, or is it all sunshine from here? Time will tell. 2020, hindsight's always 2020. All right, so if we did not get our full 84% drawdown. So we're going to follow the last few cycles. We got BlackRock. Warning, get ready for a recession unlike any other. So is there more pain to come? Comment down below. Alchemists, let me know what you guys think. Alright, BlackRock adding 15 T's to the global allocation fund, one of the biggest asset managers on the rock. Alright. DCG being investigated by the DOJ, so that still out there looming after consulting with bankruptcy attorneys. So, trouble on the horizon. Well, you got Mr. Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan CEO, out at Davos, fudding crypto. Let's take a quick listen.
Some crypto conversation with you. I'm just curious because I don't think we've talked to you since. I think all of that's been a waste of time, and why you guys should waste any breath on this totally beyond me. Because you just think the whole thing just is going to zero. Going to zero is fake. Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rock. You're back to that? Yeah, really? Of course, yeah. So what do you make then of BlackRock and other firms that are investing in infrastructure? No, that's different. Blockchain is a technology ledger system that we use to move information. We've used it to do overnight repo, intraday repo. We've used it to move money. Right. So that is a ledger. That's a technology ledger type of thing that we think will be deployable.
All right, so he's telling you it's a Ponzi, it's a pet rock, it's a fraud. But we all remember what he did back in the day. Shout out to DAI for this. Let's listen.
So, on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
All right, Alchemist. We already know. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. So, he's out there fudding it. Maybe we're going to see another drop. Now this, speaking of bankers and banks, BOA out there getting some poor publicity today. Now, they had said this was a problem with Zelle. I don't know. You be the judge. I don't know if anyone's got any real hard info on this. Please comment down below. But I think they're trying to blame this on a Zelle issue. We all know the fractional banking system here in this country is a Ponzi. So let's take a quick listen.
They're telling me to call customer service. And they keep hanging up on people. It's another person there can also missing money. So we're trying to see what's going on. Money's missing today, and we need our money. And all they're telling us to call customer service. And customer service ain't doing nothing about it. So just a heads up, if anybody's experiencing this, please let us know, because this is not right. I'm missing $1,400 from my account, and they're telling me that there is no way they can help us. This guy's missing money too.
Whoa, they're all missing money.
You missing money too?
She's missing money.
It's not something that's just one person. It's everybody's tapped into them, and this is crazy.
Alright, so Bank of America. Today, this was reported, and they're blaming this on a Zelle issue, and they're saying Zelle has been fixed, the issue has been resolved. I don't know. Now, this from Watcher Guru a few hours ago. SEC officially charged Sam Bankman-Fried with defrauding FTX investors. Is this new charges coming? Is this the old stuff? I don't know. We got our popcorn. We're strapped in. We're watching. We're watching this thing unfold. Now, still got Tether out there. It's all quiet on the Tether front, which makes me a bit nervous. The FUD has died down. They're still trying to get your money out of UST and into USDC, something that BlackRock has control of. Alright, so we got Soros lurking out there in the space, meeting with Gensler, deleting his calendar. So these guys are up to no good. Now the DOJ is still split over charging CZ at Binance. And speaking of the DOJ, they went after BitsLotto, I guess a Russian exchange. Did cause a little bit of a dump. I don't know if that was related yesterday, but that did hit the market. We did take a short. Shout out to all the alchemists that got money shorting Bitcoin yesterday. Alright, so that's still lurking out there. The Binance thing, the alchemists already know. Not your keys, not your crypto. Shout out to all the alchemists in hot and cold storage. Do not leave your crypto on exchanges. Get into a wallet, guys. Alright, JPOW, the Fed, continues his destruction of these markets. So we will just keep a close eye on him. You have Miss Laynard here. Laynard. What's her name? Leal Brainerd, vice chair of the Fed, saying inflation's still too high. You also have the same narrative out of Christine Lagarde. Let's take a quick listen. Alright, let's not. Come on, Christine. Alright, let's not. Anyway, she's saying inflation too high, ECB to stay the course. So we're watching that situation. We got JPOW the end of the month coming up on the 31st. So 10-11 days, we'll be watching that closely. I don't think he's done yet. I think he's going to keep going with the rate hikes. We're starting to see inflation cool. However, I do not think this guy is done just yet. I think he's going to keep going. He's not ready to pivot just yet and turn on the money printers, guys, but it is coming. The longer, this can't go on forever. This bear market can't last forever, and he cannot continue to tank this thing. However, if he does, we will continue to scoop up these assets on the cheap. We will buy these things and do what we do and flip them over and turn some profits. So we are watching close. Alright, let's talk about the ISOs. Here's the interoperability map. This is how it will work. We know the ISOs have been delayed. We look at that as a prime opportunity to continue to acquire these assets on the cheap. Here they are. Ripple, who I believe will eat the lion's share. You have some Lumens, XDC, the XFIN network, IOTA, Algo, HBAR, Quant, and Cardano. So we're watching the ISOs. We're continuing to DCA into these highly undervalued assets. Did not see that big dip we were waiting for down to 10-14K just yet. We did not get to deploy a lot of that dry powder we were saving, so we're still sitting on the sidelines. Today we didn't do much trading, but I want you guys to take a quick listen to Miss Naomi Prinz on the future of finance.
See massive changes. We're also about to see massive changes in the $23 trillion world of big finance. In the months ahead, central banks around the world are planning to go digital. Many of the legacy banks you've heard of, where you probably even keep your money, like Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, they're about to be reset, overhauled by a new type of technology called fintech, which is short for financial technology.
Yeah, can I ask you, what exactly does that mean for the banks and all of us, you and me?
Essentially, it means the function of our banks is about to change. They probably won't raise public suspicion about it by changing the signs on your bank's branches, but according to my sources, the Federal Reserve will soon own all the banks, and your local branch, it's simply going to be like a licensee of the Fed. In other words, the banking infrastructure is being rebuilt from the ground up, and very few Americans are aware this is even happening. We're also about to see massive changes in the massive changes.
So we all know what's coming. Position accordingly. The alchemists are buckled up, strapped in, and dollar cost averaging into these assets because we know all assets are to become tokenized. BlackRock there. Now you got BlackRock here talking about Ethereum. So BlackRock is bullish on crypto, and we know all assets eventually become tokenized. All these assets will have their lunch eaten by distributed ledger technology and blockchain. We're buckled up. We're watching. Let's go, Elon. We got our popcorn. All right, let's look at the chosen one. 38 cents. Holding fast right around that 40-cent mark. Not giving much back. Speaking of the chosen one, let's take a look and watch the man at Davos.
Has changed in tone from how the last Davos, in terms of just there was a lot of hype, a lot of noise around all things crypto at the last Davos, and I think seeing the change, and I actually think it's a really healthy change, that there's more focus on utility. Are these technologies are solving real problems? And I think to your question, I think to the extent there are companies solving real problems for real customers, and they're going to continue to grow regardless of the environment. Is there continued contagion? I think we're obviously continuing to hear noise about what's going on with DCG and Gemini. Hard to know.
That stuff's out there.
That could work out in a constructive way.
They're trying to get funding. We'll see what happens with that.
At large, but again, if you just focus on companies that are solving real problems, certainly Ripple had a record 2022. We'd rather see crypto do well at large, but we had a great year, signed up more and more customers, more and more volume going through our payment rails.
And in terms of your outlook for 2023, we've seen a bit of a bump for Bitcoin in the crypto markets. Are you expecting that to continue, or is it just a little bit of false hope?
Well, I've tried
Think
to stay
long
on the
game.
long-term price prediction on all things Bitcoin, or crypto in general. I'm long-term very bullish because I think these are technologies that can solve real problems at scale, and I think when you have kind of new emerging technologies, not dissimilar to frankly the internet and kind of dot-com bubble, sometimes the hype gets ahead of the reality. That comes into balance over time, but we shouldn't forget, really not that long ago, 21 years ago, Amazon during the dot-com bubble almost went out of business. So the fact that you're seeing some changes in the crypto world, I think, can be healthy for the long-term health of the industry.
And yet FTX appears to be a very high-profile case of fraud. There are serious regulatory and auditing gaps that went on with that institution, and yet at the same time, what I'm reading is so many people have been critical of SBF for having this close relationship with the regulators, the fact that he visited Gary Gensler so many times. So where do you draw the line? We need to strengthen regulation and oversight in this industry, but how close should the relationship be between your peer group and the U.S. regulators who are looking at these institutions?
First of all, I think you're exactly right. We talk about this as a crypto problem, but really this is just fraud, and I think in some ways not that dissimilar than Bernie Madoff. And when Bernie Madoff occurred, we didn't totally restructure how we thought about oversight and regulation of hedge funds. We realized that, hey, clearly in that case also the SEC had overlooked, and if people had reported to the SEC, they should be looking into Bernie Madoff. So I know that
That guy warned the SEC about Madoff.
SBF, I don't know the specifics of what types of oversight they were applying. I do think this is a fraud. I don't view this as a crypto problem at large. But to your point, I think regulatory clarity globally is important, and we're seeing a lot of countries. I mean, here we are in Davos, and Switzerland's clearly one of the countries leading in providing regulatory clarity at an early stage. You have the UAE leaning in, the UK, Japan.
Shout out to Switzerland.
Sorry, Singapore. The U.S. is notably absent from that list, and I think in some ways the regulators in the U.S. have added confusion to the crypto marketplace.
And let's talk about those regulators in the US, the SEC, Brad. Let's get a check-in on what's going on with that lawsuit with the
Here
SEC
we go.
and Ripple. Are you nearing an end potentially? Are you planning to settle with the SEC?
Well, we have always said that we would love to settle, but it requires one very, very, very important thing, and that is that on a go-forward basis, it's clear that XRP is not a security.
It's a currency.
SEC and Gary Gensler has very outwardly said he views almost all crypto as a security, and so that leaves very little space in a Venn diagram for settlement. The case is now fully briefed in front of the judge, and judges take however long the judges will take. We're optimistic that this will certainly be resolved in 2023 and maybe the first half. So we'll see how it plays out from here. But I feel very good about where we are relative to the law and the facts.
So are you going to wait for the judge to come out with a decision on this one?
I'm very optimistic, and I think absent some significant change in posture from the SEC, I can't imagine that we won't have resolution from the judge. I also will point out, and I've certainly something I've heard here in Davos repeatedly, is how important this is, not just to how Ripple it goes forward, but also really the whole crypto industry in the United States. And I keep reminding people outside the United States, crypto is still thriving, Ripple is still thriving, and we should make sure we're continuing to engage non-U.S. regulators as well.
I mean, it's also difficult to say it's thriving when so many people have lost a lot of money speculating, and the key word here is speculating on the price of Bitcoin and various other cryptocurrencies. I remember back at the peak, there was a lot of talk about institutions getting involved. Given what we've seen, given the price action, given the drawdowns, given the numerous amounts of fraud cases that have gone on in the space, doesn't it feel like the hurdle is extremely high, if not impossible now, to get institutions involved? If you were sitting on a board of a pension fund, how could you justify to them that you're going to get involved in cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think it depends upon how we're defining institutional involvement. When I think about institutional involvement with Ripple, I'm thinking about financial institutions, banks, payment providers who are using our technologies to solve a cross-border payments problem. They've continued to engage, we've continued to grow, and so I feel good about that. But look, I think anytime you have this kind of change, people take a moment. I also think, and I pointed out in one of the sessions I was in at Davos here yesterday, is, we talk about, obviously, crypto is down 65%. Tesla is down 65%. Facebook is down about 65%. No one's saying, hey, we shouldn't invest in Tesla or Facebook. So I think we have to, clearly, I would much rather not have the volatility we've seen in crypto in 2022, but I think we also have to look at that in concert of other kind of growth investment areas. And again, to your point, most of crypto has been speculation. If it's just speculation, I don't think that's long-term sustainable. We need to focus on utility and make sure we're solving problems for customers.
All right, Brad looking fit, clean, sharp, ready to go, sitting at the big boy tables in Davos. All right, now let's take a look at this.
Guys, is it possible for XRP to be worth $10,000 a coin? Here is a visual of every asset class on the planet, where each square equals $100 billion. A lot of people speculate that XRP was meant to transfer the value of all the money and all the value on the planet. And personally, I think that's a very real possibility. However, the only way XRP could possibly be worth 10K a token is if we tap into the derivatives market. We are partnered with the DTCC, and that's why people think it's possible. And this derivatives market is over $1 quadrillion.
All right, alchemists. We talk about this all the time. If we just get a piece of that derivatives market. Now, here's the rich list. If you want to get on it, you only need 2,000 tokens to be in the top 10% of holders. Here it is, 38 cents. You do the math. Where's that 3 for $1 dip? We'd like to buy that XRP dip. The alchemists already know. All right, let's keep going. This lawsuit is in the bag, maybe over already. Maybe they have a deal in place and they just have to keep it under wraps until all things are in place. All the world's a stage. We got those Hinman emails. You know what's coming. Even $100 million in lawyers' fees, 2 judges. A 1.5-year court case can't open them, so they've got something they want to hide. Brad says the SEC wants you to think that it cares about disclosure, transparency, and clarity. When the truth eventually comes out, the shamefulness of their behavior will shock you. I'm sure it will. When Gary's deleting his calendar meeting with George Soros, they will not let us see what was discussed in the Hinman emails before the Ethereum free pass. All things they do in the dark will come to light. The alchemists already know. All right. Let's see. What is this? From Alexa. Alright, so Alexa has a favorable opinion on the end of the case, which I found interesting. By 2024, at least 50% of the world's population expected to use digital wallets for transactions valued over $9 trillion annually. The warning is there. They're sounding the alarm. They know what's coming. The floodgates are going to open on regulatory clarity. There will be institutional adoption. All that cash parked on the sidelines is waiting to flow into distributed ledger technology. Watch the money. The addresses, they're skyrocketing. The whales are moving crypto. If you're watching Whale Watcher and Whale Alert, you can see the crypto moving. I highly encourage you guys to get out there and do your own research. The whales are accumulating. They're moving it off exchanges. They know what's coming. XRP Whale suddenly moves massive amount of crypto, and this is old. There are tons happening daily. So follow the money, guys. Look at that beautiful crypto sitting at 40 cents XRP overseas in some other markets. I believe the US price is around 38. They may not be factoring some of these other exchanges. XRP being converted from fiat dollars around the world, from Canadian dollars, Mexican pesos, Russian rubles, what have you, British pounds, you name it. People are waking up. So when the masses awake in years to come, you can buy now at 38 cents and be positioned accordingly. Not financial advice. Stay in the know and you will benefit. You will be positioned accordingly. You see Ripple sitting down at the tables that matter, the big boy tables with the WEF, with the folks in Davos meeting over there. They're warning you in the white paper about stablecoins coming and who is the key developer. Ripple and XRP. Here we go. Let's take a quick listen.
Decades, we'll see the greatest industrial transformation of our times. We'll see the greatest industrial transformation of our times. Maybe of any times. And those who develop and manufacture the technology that will be the foundation of tomorrow's economy.
Alright, alchemists position accordingly. The alchemists already know. Let's keep moving. We know the price can't be cheap. We heard the man say it. Are they going to revalue gold and maybe peg one of these tokens to gold and have a gold-backed currency like we're seeing come out of Russia right now? Was this thing designed for 10K? I don't know, but I like the sound of it. Now, every 100 years, the reserve currency status changes. We went from gold and silver to paper, and paper is about had its day, so we may be ready to see something new like a digital gold-backed currency. It may be coming soon to a blockchain near you. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We like to speculate on this channel, so we'll just go ahead and do so. There's a good chance it could. Now, one thing I do know is this thing is faster than Usain Bolt. I just saw an article that this guy was robbed by a bank in Africa for millions of dollars. He had $12 million. Then he checked, he had about 17K in there. So his lawyers have issued a statement saying the banks have 10 days to come up with his money. It's sad to say, but XRP is as fast as him, if not faster. Now, these guys are meeting in Davos. The powers that be, the elites, the cabal, they're out there making moves, planning your next pandemic, formulating new inoculations for the masses, trying to ban your gas stoves. This is getting ridiculous. Are they going to flip the switch soon? Are they going to crash this thing? The global reset is coming. The alchemists already know. You need to stockpile food, fuel, supplies, gas, whatever you need, candles, batteries, flashlights, freedom seeds. The alchemists already know. Alright, record spikes on the ledger. Is this thing going to be the next world reserve currency? I don't know, but I like the sound of it. Let's see them peg this thing to gold. Maybe all in good time. Bart, settle down. I don't think it's happening this year, but maybe by 2030 we could be there. So we will just continue to dollar cost average into this thing and build our bags as long as they allow us. Now, federal buyback, I don't see how that could happen, but I know one big smash of the order books by one big bank or sovereign wealth fund will end it all. The liquidity will dry up on exchanges. What Ripple has will be only for ODL partners, and retail and the masses will be locked out. This is the banker's token. It was never meant for us. The alchemists already know. Alright. Cameron Faust, I'm starting to doubt you. Where is my 15-cent XRP, Cameron? He's been calling for this for a while. And that pile of dry powder still waiting, Cameron. I hope we get it. Alright. DCC drives advancement of distributed ledgers. We know they're moving quadrillions of dollars. If we get a piece of it, You heard the man say we're thinking a lot bigger than cross-border payments, so we're watching. If the derivatives market is run through XRP's ledger, that's $1 to $2 quadrillion market divided by the total supply of XRP, taking the low estimate and dividing by the XRP supply gives you the 10K value per token. So we are watching this thing closely. This thing may get to 10K in the next few years. Can you afford to not dollar cost average into it? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Not financial advice. You can be a wolf or you can be a sheep. The choice is yours. Alchemists already know what's up. Just remember, fortune favors the bold. Don't be a sheep. The choice is yours. Not financial advice. Think long game, guys.
One of the things I say inside the company is I'm not focused on the price of XRP over 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. I'm focused on the price of XRP over 3 years and 5 years. I have no qualms saying definitively, if we continue to drive the success we're driving, we're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem.
Alright, Alchemist. You guys already know what's up. You guys know what's coming. Position accordingly. If you want to learn to trade, jump over to ALcHeMy Trades. We are not trading right now. The market is a little bit choppy. Let's jump over. You can jump over to ALcHeMyCryptoCipher.com right here. Click right here. This blue box will get you set up. We'll get you in the casino if you want to trade. We'll get you long and short in these markets. Speaking of these markets, let's jump into trading view. We're looking at the DXY up top. You can see it's just chopping sideways in the 102 range. We're looking at Bitcoin down here. If we look at the 4-hour, it's really looking like the bottom is in here, folks. I want to really know what you guys think. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. I do want to know what you guys are thinking here. Would really appreciate your input. I think if we take a look at the 1 minute, right now we're just kind of chopping sideways in this. Let's look at the 15 real quick. We're just kind of chopping sideways. You know, when in doubt, zoom out. So we'll do that. We'll take a look. This is the trading range we are in. We have not been trading. We don't like to take trades. Hold on. Let me get out of this. Got some Fibonacci's on. Did not want those. Okay. So we're just trading in the sideways range right here. We had this run up last few days. Here you can see we had this big run up to 20K. And we're just chopping sideways in this range now. We did short this thing the other day. Don't like trading in the middle of the range. We'll wait for this thing to get up here and bounce off some resistance. Look for a bunch of confirmations and then we'll short it on the way down. Or we'll wait to come down and then we'll long some support. We like to make money up or down. Sideways not so much. There's not a lot of action. We're just in the middle of the range. So we will just stay patient and wait for a trade to come to us. We'll see what happens there. So if you want to learn to trade, jump over to ALcHeMyCryptoCipher.com. Click right here. We will get you in the casino. You can hit some licks like that. Alright. That's about all I got, Alchemist. I appreciate you guys coming in. Until next time, this is your Alchemist signing off.